Well, that seemed to work. Okay, cool. E. I'm just sorry. I completely ignored what you said right here until like 5 seconds now. Yeah. I see. White wall TV. That's actually kind of funny considering that's all I had. I didn't set up any controls here. I think it's all mouse based anyways. Or stylus based. No one cares. Look at my mouse. It's so beautiful. I literally did not even view the opening, but I've already seen the opening several times, so it doesn't really matter. Grace data. See, prologue. Just so you know, I'm not being an ass. Yeah. Pretty sure I want to delete it. I don't even know how bad the sound is right now. It could be like totally overpowering me. Or underpowering. Probably should just wait for the intro screen to pop up, because that's generally the loudest thing. And then I'm good to go. I just want to make sure the bars are at least somewhat even. Ugh. English translation. Let's see if I get another 9 in there somehow. Alright, what other language do I want? Italian, French, Japanese, Mongolian. Oh, that's so awesome, actually. Alright, it's actually a little too quiet. Let's bump that up. Oh wait, it gets louder. Oh, it gets way louder. Actually, I have to lower it on my end. Whatever, that's good enough. I have my mouse sideways. Or I have the screen set sideways. I'm like half awake right now because I just had a weird day at work. Let's start. Save during the game, I press. I don't even know what my start button is. I think it's enter. This game is fiction. All names, characters, and instances portrayed in this production are completely fake. Unless you reenact it. In that case, it's completely true. Oh, that's not cool. Why would I put the video on the smaller screen? Also, I could see I screwed up here. Whatever. There we go. Everything up until about halfway into this first room I have seen before. Otherwise, I haven't. A loud noise startled Junpei awake as his eyes snapped open. As they adjusted to the light, he realized he didn't recognize his surroundings. Ow! With a crack, Junpei's head connected with something metal. He rolled over and threw his hand out to steady himself, but found himself groping at empty air. His balance lost, and his still fuzzy mind struggling to understand what was going on, Junpei trembled to the cold, gray floor. Ow! Damn it! What the hell? Junpei glared around the room, still trying to determine where he had woken up. The fall had shaken the last of the cobwebs. Oh, yeah, that's right. Of sleep from his mind, and he finally understood where he had fallen from. It was a bed. A 3-level bunk bed, in fact. Junpei had fallen, apparently from the topmost bunk. His shoulder hurt, his knee hurt, his hip hurt, his entire body hurt. He could feel a bump forming on his forehead where he slammed against the low ceiling. He wondered if that bump was the reason he felt his vision wavering a bit, but that seemed unlikely. At first, he thought the tremor ran through his legs, and it was just another effect of his rude awakening. But as he looked around, he realized it was real. The whole room was shaking. Was it an earthquake, he wondered? It didn't seem likely. The shaking was far too quickly for an earthquake. Then again, Junpei had no idea what it was, if not for an earthquake. He tried to tell himself it was important. Junpei rubbed the growing bump on his head and gingerly climbed to his feet. His balance regained, he finally took a first good look around the room. As he muttered to himself, Where am I? The pain momentarily forgotten in the face of the confusion of his circumstances, Junpei looked around the room once again. A minute passed while Junpei was struggling to get his bearings. Then, as suddenly as they had begun, the tremors ceased. A cold silence fell over the room. From somewhere far away, Junpei could hear the sound of metal squeaking. He felt his stomach tighten. There were 1,000 things that sound could have been, but none of them were as good. None of the things he could think of were good. In an attempt to distract himself, Junpei looked around the room once more. There was a stove that looked more like an antique than functional. A 3-level bunk bed had mattresses that were so thin they were little more than blankets. On the other side of the room was an identical bed, and set in the wall between the beds was a slightly dirty iron door. The first thing Junpei noticed about the door was the rough embolization. Was the number roughly embolized across it. On the surface of the door, in red paint, someone had written 5. 5. What's this 5 mean? Suspiciously and still utterly confused, Junpei approached the door, slowly. Standing at last in front of the door, Junpei grabbed hold of the L-shaped handle. A push yielded no movement, and a pull the same result. A few more tries cemented the truth in Junpei's mind. It wouldn't open. It didn't. No matter how much he pushed and shoved, the handle won't budge. I need a new mouse, because that clicking is insane. Next to the door was an old-looking device that reminded Junpei of a card reader. It didn't take a genius to figure out what the old-looking device... Oh, that the old-looking device was keeping the door shut. Junpei knocked hard on the door. Hey! Hello? Is anyone there? Open the door! There was no response. Junpei threw his left fist into the door. And stopped. What the hell is this? He wasn't really sure what else to say. On his left wrist was a bracelet of sort he had never seen before. The center was a large LCD display. It looked like nothing else so much as a watch, but it clearly wasn't that. After all, it showed only a single number. 5. That's the same as this door. True, the numbers were the same, but he had no idea what that might mean. All he knew is that it was strange, and new, and he wanted it off. Junpei flipped his hands over as to remove a watch, but the other side of the bracelet was solid. No buckle, no clasp, nothing. He sighed and flipped the thing back over. There were a number of rivets around the rim of the face, perhaps. He pushed them, but nothing happened. On the watch, they might be dials for adjusting the date or time, but on this bracelet, they did nothing. Junpei was at a loss. What was he going to do? And he really needed to figure out the A button. Ah, there we go. It's a little quieter. Growing more desperate, he began to tug at it. However... Damn! It's no good. Damn thing won't come off. A steel ring ran from the face around Junpei's wrist and back into the face. He wouldn't be pulling off the bracelet anytime in the near future. What the hell is the deal with this thing? Frustration and desperation were beginning to mix as the reality of the situation began to fully dawn on Junpei. So much was happening, and none of it made sense. Junpei felt as though his head was about to explode. Or he was about to explode. Where am I? And why the hell am I here? Why? Why? What the hell is happening to me? Oh God. It was at that moment that he noticed the window. The window was round, rimmed in riveted brass, like a window from an early 20th century ship. What? Wait. Am I on a ship? Junpei walked slowly towards the window. He could see nothing beyond it but a thick, impenetrable darkness. Junpei squinted, trying to see if there was something, anything. It was at that moment that you became fucked. What the? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. What the hell is going on here? Bunch of random dots is what's going on here. A crack split in the glass of the window, and for a moment, Junpei kind of just stared at it. Then the window burst, and the water began to pour into the room. What the hell? God damn it! Junpei yelled and spun around. His feet slipping on the water already coming through the window. He ran for the door. Hey! Anyone? Is anyone there? Come on, if you're there, say something! There was no reply. As Junpei screamed and pounded on the door, the water began to rise. It was now ankle deep on the floor, and rising quickly towards his knees. Things were not looking good for Junpei. Not good at all. He needed to find a way out, and quickly. Junpei ran a hand across his forehead, brushing the sweat out of his eyes, and looked around the room. Oh man, I gotta seek a way out. Fortunately, I played this game like 2 years ago, so I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. Operations during an escape. Thank you. During escape, you can move to different parts of the room by touching the bottom screen. Since many areas require very exact selections, we recommend you use the stylus instead of your finger, or a mouse if you're a jackass and have this game on an emulation instead of a capture card, because you're too poor for a capture card. Searching during an escape. During an escape, you can touch the background to search anywhere in the room. Areas can be investigated will be highlighted in yellow the moment you touch them. Depending on the nature of the location you touch, you might find an item, or at least a hint. Begin searching by touching places on the bottom screen. How to move. Press the triangle icon on the screen. Doing so will change the viewing angle of the room and move you to a different location. You can do this by pressing left, right, and down on the control pad. Fortunately, I don't think that's the up, down, and left, right thingies on my... yeah. Bird's eye view. If you want to know where you are, just touch the camera icon. This will show you where you are and what direction you're facing. And you can save during an escape, even though you're about to drown. By pressing start, you can save. If you want to quit, we recommend pressing start. Fortunately, I don't know the button. Purpose of the escape. The purpose of each escape is to get the hell out. There's really no other reason. How you do that depends on the room. You'll need to search all throughout the room to discover what you need to do to get out. Search for hints and items that may help you find a way out. Alright, so... this. About items. During escape, investigating certain parts of the room will allow you to obtain items. Once you obtain an item, you'll be able to go to the item screen. Touching L, items, on the top left will take you to the item screen. While on the item screen, you'll be able to investigate, hold, and combine items that you have found. If you want to investigate an item you found, touch the icon for that item in the item screen, and then touch search on the top right corner of the bottom screen. Ah, I see. I forgot this was a thing. It was actually pretty cool for a DS game. An old picture frame. There's a picture of a ship in it. There's screws keeping the back on, so we need to find a screwdriver. It's the back if it's not important. There's also something right here. Investigating with an item. Touching an item while on the item screen will select that item. While the item is selected, touching L back will return you to the room. If you look down on the bottom left corner, you can see the picture right here. It shows the item you are holding. If you hold an item while investigating the room, you may trigger a reaction. Investigating suspicious areas with different items to see what happens. Pressing up on the control pad will select another item for you to hold. Alright, there's this. Okay, I have no idea what that's supposed to do for me. Can I change? Oh, I can. Okay, so I can change what item I have here. Water just keeps pouring through the window. It's like a waterfall. I don't think shoving something in that window is going to stop the water, though. In other words, if I don't want to die, I need to get the hell out of this room. Yeah. Wonder if there's something in the sink. It doesn't seem like there's anything hidden in the sink. Is this the only drain in the room? Oh. Oh, so you're fine for a little bit anyways. Anything in here? This is a door to the stove. Well, it opens easily enough. Sure wish the door to get out of here is that easy to open. There's a screwdriver in here, my friend. Let's combine that with the picture. Well, the screwdriver got those screws off easily enough, and here's the picture. Okay. Oh, hello. I gotta flip you right. Oh, shit. Alright, one more time. Oh, fuck. This is so hard to do. Alright, so... Seven... 4... 6... 3. Okay. Combining items. If you have 2 items, I've already combined it. Yeah, I figured it out. You receive a new item. If they cannot be combined, nothing will happen. Alright, so there's no penalty for doing that. Screwdriver, huh? I wonder why that's here. To unscrew the frickin' picture. Anything in here? There is a key. Yeah, a little blue key in the bottom of the pot. Odd. No idea what the hell I'm using you for. Oh, maybe this. No dice. It's locked tight. Let's see if there's anything in this keyhole. Looks like I've got to put the key in the keyhole in order to enter a number. Apparently I need to enter a number. Alright. There's a blue briefcase on top of the bed. I can keep looking till the cows come home. All I'm gonna find up there is a pillow. Damn it. Is there anything else I can use? Can I click the pillow? I can't see the bottom of the ladder. Oh man, the water's already up to the bottom of the bed. I gotta hurry up. Here we are at the middle bunk. There's nothing useful here. There's a pipe at the other end of this bed. There's nothing up top. Alright, what else do I got? What's this? Oh, I zoomed in. I can't bring myself to call this a bed. It feels like a board with a sheet on it. It's pretty flat. Is there anything underneath the pillow? There is! Oh. 2 different... Oh, okay, so I must be looking for a red key somewhere soon. Oh, is it really that easy to... Oh, I'm dumb. Okay. That's a lot of work. Alright, so I got a couple things. All I can see for down here is the the underside of the top bunk. It's pretty high up there. Well, I can reach this bunk. Might as well look through it. Huh? Damn, nothing here. Alright, okay, so I'm looking this way. Door? I guess that's the lever, huh? Maybe if I pull it... Well, looks like pulling on the lever just makes a weird noise. Great. The light's still red and the display hasn't changed. Damn it. Why the hell isn't this thing opening? Something I do over here? Ah! Red key. And everything past here I have never played before. I do remember grabbing the red key. Or at least something on a mirror. And there was a cutscene, and after that cutscene I kind of just had breakdown of everything, so I kind of didn't do anything else. It's a small red key, looks pretty damn cool. I don't remember this cutscene. Junpei grabbed the key and shoved it into his pocket. He intended to leave immediately, but something stopped him. His reflection stared back at him from a mirror, but he scarcely recognized himself. Man, what's up with my face? I look so freaking depressed. His confusion was well justified. His face was drawn and pale, and dark circles under his eyes made him look like those he was nearly dead. Man, what the hell happened to me? How did I end up here? Even as he said it, something in his mind opened. A memory blobbed from the surface. It was the last thing Junpei remembered before waking up in this strange room. It was past midnight when he came home. Junpei shuffled up the stairs and opened the door to his apartment. 201. Mine's just D, so I can't relate to that at all. Inside was his apartment. A small, one-bedroom affair that ran him about... Damn! It's expensive. I have a fucking 3-bedroom for fucking $800. He moved into while he entered college, and so far he's been there for 3 years and 7 months. So he's almost a college graduate. He stepped inside and turned on the lights. The fluorescent lights on the ceiling blinked and flickered slowly to life, as if waking from a deep slumber. Damn, this apartment for $630. God. That sounds like a shitty fucking apartment. The cold light illuminated the landscape he had come home to so many times before. Everything was as he left it. The magazines piled up in the corner full of porn. The textbooks that I'd never fucking read. The CD cases that still have fucking dust. And the jeans and t-shirts I'd never fucking wear. And then just tossed onto the floor. There's one thing that didn't belong, however. There was a breeze. Breaths of cold night air wafted into his apartment, carrying the smell of autumn with them. The white curtain framing his windows swayed gently in the wind. Huh, that's weird. Did I leave that open? Junpei walked towards the window, trying to remember if he closed it or not before he left. One of the panes was hanging open. He stuck his head out and looked around. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Junpei shrugged. You must have just left it open earlier, or someone came in and stole everything in your fucking house and you just didn't realize it yet. He closed the window. And then it happened. Get fucked. Junpei turned and found himself face to face with the man dressed in all black and a mask. The man wore a deep hood and a bulky gas mask. His face was entirely hidden. Junpei tried to scream, but all he could do was manage a strangled croak. He tried to step towards the man, but his legs could no longer support his weight. Junpei collapsed on the floor, a crumpled heap of limbs like a discarded puppet. Too late, he noticed the white smoke that was quickly filling his apartment. A small object, shaped distressingly like a grenade, sat on the floor in front of his face, hissing. The white smoke poured out of it at an incredible rate. The smoke had grown so thick that the details of Junpei's apartment began to fade into the white haze. He could feel his mind begin to fade as well, a white haze that was not the smoke creeping into the edges of his vision. He whited out. Consider this a privilege. You have been chosen. A rasping voice wormed its way out of the gas mask. It was cold and harsh, like distorted in some way that Junpei couldn't put his finger on. You are going to participate in a game. The nonary game. I have actually played the nonary game before. With a couple of friends. It's a game. Oh, we didn't do that. It's a game where you put your life on the line. We put like $5 on the line. It was the last thing Junpei remembered. The white smoke overpowered him, and the masked man faded from his vision. And he felt his consciousness fall away into the white mist. That's right! That guy with a gas mask. That son of a bitch must have taken me here. As to who the man was, or might have been, Junpei had no idea. Indeed, he wasn't even sure that the assailant was a man. The voice had been cold and mechanic, like passed through a voice changer. And the body had been covered in a thick cloak. Who is that man in the mask? You have been chosen. Junpei remembered that much, but what it might mean, that was beyond him. Junpei had no idea where he was, or why he was even there. There's only one thing from his memory that seemed important. You are going to participate in a game. The nonary game. It's a game where you put your life on the line. A nonary game, huh? What in the hell is a nonary game? God damn it. I say god damn it too much. With a yell, Junpei drove his fist into a mirror. The mirror was sad. Ooh, I like how it changes on the top screen too. I didn't realize that. I didn't notice that. Alright, so I got a red key, but I have no idea where the hell a red briefcase. Oh, I didn't even notice that! There's the red briefcase. Just like the blue briefcase. Yep, there's a lock on this one too, and it's not opening. Now it is. Alright, let's stick that red key in there, and it's not opening. Yeah, it's 999. I've actually never, like, played this game past where I am right now. So I kind of wanted to play it. In fact, it's not doing anything at all. Well, alright, I take that back. I guess we can move the dial now. So it looks like I'm gonna have to put in the right numbers and then turn the key. I do this and this thing should pop right open. Let's give it a shot, except I have no idea what the hell the fucking combination is. Minigames. During an escape, your investigation may trigger one of several minigames. All operations for the minigames are done by touching the bottom screen with the mouse. Some minigames require you to manipulate things, while others will only require you to apply the right object or touch the right thing. Operation instructions. Touching the dial will cause it to move to the next number. Enter the 4 numbers in a way that... Oh, and then touch the key. If the numbers are correct, it will unlock. I don't know the numbers. Damn it. It's not opening. Yeah, no, I know. I just need to frickin' figure out the numbers. I don't. Alright, this is the red one, so I need this. I need to write this down. I have a pen in my pocket, but I have no freaking paper. I don't even have a cell phone near me. Crap. I guess I have this on the bottom, but I don't know if that's going to lag it at all. Oh, not at all. Okay. I will type it into my translator I use to make the title of this damn thing. Alright. That's not the one I wanted. Solid, that's 7. Oh, I just realized that's probably going to cause something to happen. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so 7. 4. Shit. 7, 4, 8. 5. 7, 4, 8, 5. Oh. 7, 4, 8, 5. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Yes! I unlocked it! I did something good. It's opening. That's depressingly empty. Stack of red key cards. That is... well, I guess it is just a stack of normal cards. Looks like key cards. There's a number on each one of them. 1, 2, and 3. Probably should figure out what the blue numbers are now. Alright, blue is 0, 2, 6, 3. Yeah, 3. 0, 2, 6, 3. Oh, right. Yeah, I know. I hit the wrong one. And nothing. 0, 2, 6, 3, dumbass. I was to say, did I not do it? Alright, let's see if these numbers work. Turn the key and hey, looks like it's right. Alright. Let's open this bad boy up. Yes! It opened. Looks like there's something here. What's this? A file? File screen. If you find any documents or notes during an escape, the information in there will be available from the file screen. To open the file screen, touch File in the top right of the screen. Once on the file screen, select the files by touching them, or by pressing on the control pad. If you search the contents of the file, the selected will be displayed on the upper screen. Good, so all the important crap will be there. Digital root. Let's see here. Repeat the digital root with the following steps. First, add all the numbers in the question to one another. If you end up with something greater than a single digit number, add the digits to... oh, I know what this is. For instance, if you have like 44, it's 8, and if you have 136, it's gonna be... I confused myself, 1. Thanks for the follow, man. That'd be Cypher Kirby. Sorry, I kind of missed that. Had to check. For instance, if you have a double-digit number and add the number in the tens place to the number in the ones place. Keep adding digits in that manner until you have a single-digit answer. The final single digit is your digital root. That would be 6, 3, 15, 8, 23. think I did that wrong. That's 13. 21, that's 3. Therefore, digital root of that is 3. I don't even care, it's 1. Therefore, the digital root of 1, 2, 3, 4 is actually just 1. I see. So I just keep adding numbers until I get a single digit number. Oh, looks like there's something on the back of this thing. A notebook, a pen, and a calculator. And a stack of key cards, huh? This one has what? There's a number written on each card, 6, 7, and 8. Does that mean something? I'm guessing we do digital root keycard sliding on that thing. It appears as a file screen, probably the digital root crap. Calculator. The calculator screen can be used during an escape, or during a novel sequence. During an escape, you can access it by pressing the Y button. This will open the calculator screen. To operate the calculator, touch the bottom screen. Using the calculator, the numbers on the top are your calculations, and the numbers on the bottom are your answer. The calculator can also calculate a digital root, which makes this game a little too easy, I think. Digital root sounds kind of important, considering they give you a calculator for it. I won't use it though. I'm stubborn like that. Alright, so I'm assuming the key cards go here. There are these cards with numbers on them. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm supposed to kind of use them. Alright, let's slide this card and see if it works. And... no, it's not working? Why? Damn it. No, that's right. I still have the cards I haven't used. Damn it. Not again. There aren't any more cards here. I've only got one other hint. Of course, the digital root. You dummy. Thought something about a digital root. A digital root. The digital root, huh? What am I supposed to do with... There's a 5 on that door. Do I have to get the digital root of 5? Not really sure about this, but whatever. Worth a shot. See if this works. I'll just slide the cards to give me the digital root of 5 through the reader. I just slide cards. And make sure it equals 5 at the end of the whole thing. Alright. Shit. I need a 5, which means I need to get a 14 or something higher. I think it's gonna be a 4. Oh, that's easy enough. Done? Oh. Alright, I think this is gonna work. There we go. That's a new noise. Uh-huh. Did it just unlock? Well, that light was red, and now it's blue. No doubt about it. Nothing keeping me here now except for a shit ton of water. Time to go. Yeah, time to get the fuck out of here. I win. Yes, it is super freaking long. I'm actually kind of surprised. I really do enjoy long tutorials because it gives you a chance to, you know, actually get accustomed to the game before it's, you know, kind of meaningful. Accompanied by a wall of angry water, Junpei shot out of the room into the opposing wall. Gasping to catch his breath, he looked around. He was in a narrow hallway. The water had fallen out and the room was rapidly pouring out the door. It followed quickly down the hallway and slammed to the front of a short flight of stairs. Just 5 steps, in fact. At the top of the short staircase... a door? Another door? Junpei leaped up the stairs and straight for the door. The door burst open and Junpei exploded at it, only to freeze in his tracks. What other possible response could there be from what he saw? What the hell? His voice trailed off, and all I could do was stare. Oh man, sound glitches. Oh no. This worked perfectly fine for my other game. Why is it not doing it for this one? A polished floor stretched out before him. Ornate staircases rising up from the edges. Each one of them, I have no idea what that word is. Oh, equidistant from the other. The stairs and pillars were solid wood, and the Art Nouveau embellishments and decorations covered the wall and pillars. It looked like nothing so much as the entrance of a luxurious mansion from the early 90s, or 1900s. Junpei couldn't help but wonder, was he really in a ship? The water quickly filling the hallway behind him suggested that yes, he kind of was about to die. As he looked, a fresh wave rolled out of the room he had been in, gathering speed as it moved towards the stairs. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. This is totally a boat. Wait, what the hell? A wave? Ah, shit, I need to get out of here. Junpei spun around, his wet shoes squeaking in protest on the polished floor, and ran towards the tremendous staircase in front of him. C deck. B deck. As he ran, he glanced quickly at the plates mounted on the walls, denoting the decks of the ship. He took the staircase two at a time, not entirely sure where he would find himself. As he began to wonder where, in fact, the stairs did lead, Junpei saw another person run out of the corner of his eye. He stopped short, nearly tripping over the next stair, and looked. It wasn't just one person he'd seen. On the landing to the left of the stairs, there were 5 people staring at him. And on the right, 3 more. All told, there were 7 of them. It looked as though they had been there on their way down the stairs. They probably stopped short when they saw Junpei, their eyes wide. Except for that one guy who's not having an eyes open at all. He'd done the same, of course, and now they stood staring at one another. Junpei didn't move, one foot placed awkwardly on the next step in the middle of a stride. Who were these people? The entire interaction lasted only a matter of seconds. The woman spoke to Junpei, and time began to move again. I guess there's another one of us now. The woman was dressed, Junpei thought, rather like a dancer. Her clothes covered very little, and her prodigious, I didn't know how to say that correctly, I can't pronounce that properly. Jewelry looked a little more. Hey, you, come on. Hurry! With no further ceremony, she ran, straight past Junpei towards the doors behind him. The sudden proximity of the woman was such striking assets that... What? He was currently dazed by her beauty. But the others wasted no time and quickly followed the strange woman. The first to pass, Junpei was a young man with silver hair. He looks like a badass. He threw a quick glance at Junpei's direction as he ran, muttering, "One of us, huh?" Following him was an older man who looked like he had Hulkerism syndrome. He was also very calm and without fear. Soft wrinkles sprouted from his eyes, and he came close enough as he passed Junpei to see wisps of gray hair. Oh, so he's old. His composure and shock of his hair struck Junpei as rather like that of an elderly lion. Oh my god, wording in this game is sometimes weird. Going up won't do you any good. There are 2 doors, but neither of them will open. The next to speak was a girl with pink hair and a high voice. I am not doing high voice. Come on! Aren't you coming? You gotta hurry! Her small hand was wrapped around the wrist of another man. The guy who did not stare at him. His eyes were closed, as almost though he was sleeping. His features were graceful, almost serene. And he was dressed rather elegantly for someone of his age. Something about his posture seemed very refined, and Junpei couldn't help but feeling like he was noble and dignified somehow. He's certainly never seen one, but this man seemed like what Junpei always imagined as a prince. There are none of us then. All of the cards are in hand. does all the cards in hand mean? He wondered. Junpei opened his mouth to ask what the other man meant, but the girl with pink hair rushed past him and they were gone. Holy crap. Okay. He turned just in time to see two more people running towards him. One of them had hair like a bird's nest that looked like a stiff breeze might topple him. He also looked like he was sweating. The other was a mountain of a man. The scrawny one said nothing and scuttled past Junpei as though he were running from something. Hey, what the hell are you standing there for? Didn't you hear him? The doors on A deck are no good. We gotta check the doors on B deck. Got it? Now go! Before I had a chance to respond, the man laid a massive hand on Junpei's shoulder. With no more effort than Junpei would have taken to use the brush aside to flee, the man shoved him out of the way. Whoa! Thrown off balance by the man and the recent events, Junpei took a few steps to get his bearings. He finally regained his balance and looked up at what the others had been running towards. I just opened a fire door, what the hell? There were two pairs of large iron doors set in the walls in front of them. They looked quite sturdy, and each had handles jutting from them. Written across the surface of each door in red paint was a number. 4 and 5. The door on the right had 4, while on the left there was 3. Or 3. Thank God I'm tired. I'd feel like a dumbass if I was awake. They're the same. The guy Junpei had decided to call Silver was mumbling to himself. The room I woke him up in had a number on the door, just like that. You too, eh? With an arched elbow, the lion looked over at the Silver person. My cell was the same. A number upon the door. I opened it and ran down the hallway outside and found myself in a rather grand room. Full of stairs, as I expected the rest of you. As though the floodgates had been opened, they all began to talk at once. Me too. I did it too. Yeah, a door with a number on it. It soon became clear that each one of them had awoken to a room that had a locked door. They solved the puzzle to escape, and they all ended up here. Almost those that had been guided there. We all saw the same thing. That's not important. We need to hurry. You think I don't know that lady? Before the dancer had time to finish, Silver was already running. He grabbed a hold of the door labeled 5 and pulled. However... Fuck, it's not opening. This damn thing won't even budge. Move. You're in the way. The mountain grabbed Silver's shoulder and tossed him aside. His path cleared, he took a few steps back and threw himself at the door. Once. Twice. 3 times. 4 times. The door shook as his body slammed into it, but showed no signs of breaking or opening. The mountain threw himself at the door again. Junpei turns towards door 4. Next to the door on the wall was a small box. It looked just like the one they had seen in his room, next to that door. If it was the same, then this door was likely locked as well. Still, he had to check. Junpei grabbed the handle and threw all of his weight into it. It was locked as tight as the door next to it, as he had suspected. Damn it! Junpei punched the door. It did not respond. Were those the only doors, he wondered? He barely finished the thought when C-deck plate he passed on his way up sprang, unbidden, to his mind. His body moved before he had time to think. Junpei turned and ran back towards the stairs. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the 9th person, because there's only 8 people so far. He had scarcely taken a step when, at the top of the stairs, next to an ornate clock embedded into the wall, he saw a person. It was a girl. She looked to be the same age as Junpei. He froze, unable to look away from her face. He wasn't confounded by her beauty or something equally silly. No, there was another reason he couldn't take his eyes off the girl. Junpei had seen her somewhere before. He couldn't quite remember where, but he knew. He knew he'd met her before. The girl, too, stared at Junpei, similarly stunned. Her response suggested that she had seen him before as well. Without saying a word, Junpei walked slowly towards her. She didn't move. It was almost as though she was held in place by some sort of magic spell. As Junpei stepped into her landing, the spell broke. No sooner he had set his foot down than the whole ship shook a second time. Ah! The quake caught the girl unprepared, and she fell. Moving on instinct, Junpei leapt to catch her. Or so he thought. Her face was far closer than it should have been, mere inches from his own. He was flat on his back, and she had landed squarely on top of him. The girl seemed as confused as he did, and her face suggested she still hasn't fully recovered from seeing it. For a moment, that seemed to stretch for a very long time, they stared at one another. The ship stopped shaking. Everything was quiet. Water could be heard at the bottom of the ship, lapping faintly at the walls and ceilings, but eventually that faded as well. The silence was complete. A thick, muffling blanket. At last, the girl opened her mouth. Oh my gosh, is that you, Junpei? Junpei? Her words echoed through Junpei's head, and suddenly his memory returned. Akane? Why hadn't he realized it before? The girl was Akane Kurashiki. Let's call it that. She and Junpei had been friends since childhood. They had gone to elementary school together for 6 years. But what is she doing on the ship? Her soft eyes were only inches from his own. He could feel the warmth of her face. Feelings he had thought long forgotten began to work their way to the surface. Oh. He could feel his face heating up. At that moment, a speaker crackled to life, and a cold, eerie voice filled the room. Welcome aboard. I welcome you all, from the bottom of my heart, to this, my vessel. With the voice's invasion, the spell between Junpei and Akane were broken, and all hints of, that word, burgeoning, I don't know how to pronounce that, romance, were instantaneously forgotten. They hurriedly untangled themselves from one another and struggled to their feet. Their 7 companions heard the voice as well, and many of their faces had gone pale. They looked around frantically, desperately locating the source of the voice. At last they found it. A speaker sat in the ceiling. I am Zero, the captain of this ship. I am also the person who invited you here. The voice was harsh, obscured occasionally by the crackling of the static. But Junpei recognized it. How could he have forgotten it? Well, he did until he punched a mirror. It was the same voice they had heard from the man in the gas mask. Hey, asshole, what the hell is this? Come on out of here. I want to get a good look at you. What do you mean to do to us? I mean to have you prepare or to participate in a game. Some of you, I know, are familiar with this game. The Nonori game. It is a game where you put your life on the line. The Nonori game? What the hell's that? The voice continued. In place, I don't even know how to pronounce that either. Dear God, there are so many words that make me feel really, really dumb for being a college student. The rules of the Nonori game can be found upon your persons. There are simple rules. Read them. The Nonori game? Hey, there's something in my pocket. Check this out. How convenient. He was actually right. Silver reached into his pocket and pulled out a small slip of paper. The rest of them reached into their own pockets and pulled out similar slips of paper. Junpei's was a little, wet, probably. Junpei followed suit and dug into the pockets of his pants. He felt the telltale crumple of paper, slightly damp from his earlier ordeal. Hey, I got one too. Though it seems Zero has seen fit to grace us all with a letter. Would you mind terribly reading it to us, young man? The request was delivered to Junpei, who, after a short moment of surprise, did exactly as he was told. On this ship, you'll find a handful of doors embellished with numbers. We will call them numbered doors, because we don't have a better name for them. The doors in front of you are pairs of the same. The key to opening these numbered doors are in the numbered brackets in each of you possess. Oh, numbered bracelets, not brackets. Should you total the numbers of your numbered bracelets and find that the digital root of that number is equal to the number of that door, the door will open. Only those who have opened the door may pass through. There are, however, limits. Only 3 to 5 people can pass through the numbered door. Or pass through a single numbered door. All those who enter must leave, and all those who enter must contribute. Bracelet, Junpei figured, meant the bulky thing on his wrist. He glanced around, and looked like everyone else had one as well, and he had come to much of the same conclusion. The purpose of the game is simple. Leave this ship alive. It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek the door that carries the 9. Junpei had reached the end of the letter. There was a long moment of silence, and then the speaker crackled to life once more. There's one last thing I must tell you. As you have no doubt surmised, the ship has begun to sink. On April 14th... I didn't even have to read the rest of that to figure out what that was. 1912, a famous ocean liner, Titanic, crashed into an iceberg. After remaining afloat for 2 hours and 40 minutes, it sank beneath the waters of the North Atlantic. I will give you more time. 9 hours. That is the time you will be given to make your escape. The voice had finished and the speaker went silent. The sound of the bell tolling echoed through the hall. It came from the dance hall adjacent to the stairwell. It took those assembled on the stairs mere moments to trace the sound of the antique clock embedded in the wall. 7, 8, 9. The sound of the 9th bell faded away, and the 10th never came. That meant it was 9 o'clock. Most likely 9 in the evening. When Junpei had peered out the window of the cell, he had seen nothing but blackness. That had to be night time. If that was the case, they would need to escape by 6 a.m. the following day. Now, it is time. Let our game begin. I wish you all the best of luck. The speaker went silent and did not speak again. Alright, Zero better be like a badass fucking old guy. With like too much money and time on his hands. Silver yelled at the speaker with language coarse enough to embarrass a sailor, but the rest of Junpei's companions were silent, deep in thought. Junpei too was consumed by his thoughts. There was a great deal he didn't understand. Who was Zero? What was the nonary game? Why he had chosen to make them part of it? Was he a criminal who took delight in playing with his victims? Or did he have some other purpose? He's an old man who's badass, who's fucking like too much money on his hands and sunk a ship on you guys. I swear to God, this better be it. Actually, it could be one of the people. No, because... Actually, that could be a recording. I don't know. Why had Junpei chosen to take part of this insane game? Why had any of them been chosen? One question in the foremost of his mind was... Akane. They hadn't seen each other since elementary school. Why had she appeared now? Coincidence? No, that seemed impossible. There had to be a reason. He didn't know what it might be, but there had to be a reason. Very well. The lion's voice seemed oddly loud in the silence. Standing around here won't do us any good. We have 9 hours to get the fuck out of here. Best we get moving, don't you think? Get moving? Are you planning to open the numbered doors? Hey, wait. Don't tell me you're actually going to do this. This zero says. Or what this zero says. No, oh, his animations. No, that's not what I mean. The lion shook his head, mildly annoyed. I'm saying, let's find another way. After all, we haven't really examined this place yet. What? We spent 15 minutes. Their separate investigations finished, all 9 people returned to where they had left off. Or they had left one another. The result of all their work was nothing. They were completely sealed in. Their hard work had not gone completely to waste, however. They had learned a number of things as they scoured the parts of the ship they could reach. It seemed they were confined to decks A through C. C deck was as far down as they would be able to go, however. The reason being, D deck was completely submerged. Strangely, however, the water had risen no higher than D deck. The flow seemed to have been stopped somehow, as evident by the surface of water on D deck, which was smooth as glass. The prince kneeled down and gently drew his hand across it. Perhaps this Zero fella has used some sort of remote control to control a seal. What? Perhaps this Zero feller. I said feller. Oh my god, I'm sounding really. Anyways, has used some sort of remote control to seal a watertight door lower down. He said our time limit was 9 hours. In other words, the water won't rise for 9 hours. It'll probably rise a little bit sooner than that. Then you're saying we won't sink till then? Well, maybe a little too optimistic. No point to wishful thinking. There were 3 metal doors on C deck. A single door stood off to the side with 2 more facing the wall in the center. None of them had numbers or verification devices. They were, however, locked, like the other doors. No matter how much they pushed and shoved, the door refused to move. The mountain and the lion threw themselves against the wall a few times, but to no avail. The door on the back had a keyhole. Just above it was a strange mark in the shape of a circle surrounding a dot. There were 2 other doors on C deck as well, but it was clear that they were elevators, and each had a button next to it with an upside-down triangle. They tried pushing the button. No response. Apparently, there was no power running to the elevators. To the left of the elevator was a card reader. The reader also had a strange mark on it. Looked like a lowercase h with a dash. With the dash drawn across the upper stem of the H. God, I am too tired for this. Junpei stared at it for a while. This is the symbol of Saturn. It's an astrological symbol. I actually didn't know that. Then the mark on the other door. I think that was the sun symbol. They had seen the same symbols on A deck. There was a door to either side of the stairs. On the one on the left had a keyhole with a similar symbol engraved onto it. This is an Earth symbol. The horizontal line simulates the equator, and the other one's the prime meridian. Junpei looked up at the ceiling. There was a great circle cut into it, perhaps for a skylight or a glass dome, but it had been filled with a pretty damn huge metal plate. The metal plate looked very solid. Anything short of an explosive charge was unlikely to even crack it. Windows were also kind of covered. They too were covered with metal plates. In other words, we're trapped. All exits go nowhere. Junpei was not happy. The girl with the pink hair spoke up. Well, I'm sure they go somewhere. We just can't open them. Then the mountain spoke. You don't know. That, for all we know, they could open into walls or take us in circles. The prince did not agree. No, I'm sure they go somewhere. Otherwise, what's the point would there be? And we can open them. Well, 2 of them at least. 4 and 5. You mean the numbered doors? All eyes turned towards the doors with numbers on them. The atmosphere in the room grew tense. Hey, wait a minute. I think I said this earlier, but I don't think we should do that. The dancer moved in front of the doors as if to block them. We'd have to be crazy to open these doors. If we do that, we're doing exactly what Zero wants us to do. Suddenly, everyone began to speak at once. I agree. I don't. That's a terrible idea. We should keep going. We should stay here. We don't have any other way to open any of these doors. We should just wait. Someone's bound to come and find us. We don't have time for that. In 8.5 hours, the ship's gonna kinda sink. The clamor of voices made it next to impossible to determine who was saying what. Their arguments grew more and more intense until people were shouting and screaming at one another. Junpei remained silent, but at last he could take no more. Hey! Shut the fuck up! They fall silent and all eyes turned toward Junpei. He felt each stare burning into him, but he refused to flinch. Before we try and decide what we're going to do, there's something else we ought to do. What's that? We need to exchange information. We don't know anything about each other. I want to know who you guys are. Who you are, where you came from, why you ended up here. Don't tell me you aren't curious too. They were silent. Some of them looked the other way, bit their lip, crossed their arms and stared at the ceiling. But one of them spoke up. It was Akane. I agree. I think Jumpy is right about... Jumpy? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about him. I just call him Jumpy. His name is Junpei. She pointed towards Junpei. We're childhood friends. We went to the same elementary school. Wait, stop. Don't tell us stuff we didn't ask you about. Zero's probably watching us right now. What are you gonna do if he's listening in? Would that be bad? Hell yeah, it would. We don't know how much this bastard knows about us. Maybe he just picked a bunch of random people to kidnap. If that is the case, then it'd be dangerous for us to let him know too much. If Zero knows who we are, he'd go after our families. Maybe he'd tell us he had him to get us to do stuff, you know? But we still need to know what our names are. It's gonna be hard to talk to each other if we don't have names. Alright then, why don't we have code names? To him, apparently, it seemed like it was the obvious situation. Or solution. Code names? Yeah, we each picked something. Like, I'll be 7. 7? Why are you 7? It seemed a fair question. The mountain struck out his left hand. But this bracelet number says 7. Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's a good idea. He smirked. Alright, I'm gonna be Santa. Any of you chumps know Japanese? No? Well, San means 3, so I'll be Santa. You know, like Santa Claus. Bitch, don't you think? And your bracelet number? Yeah, it's got a 3 on it. Good job, Grandpa. Like the mountain had... just like the mountain had done, Silver thrusted out his left arm. Sure enough, the face of the bracelet read 3. Very well then. I'll go next, shall I? My bracelet number is 1. Given that, I think Ace seems appropriate. I'll be Lotus then. I'm sure you all know, but it has 8 petals. Which means, of course, that my bracelet number is... 8. I would appreciate if you would call me Snake. My bracelet number is 2. Since Ace has chosen cards, I will choose dice. Snake eyes, clearly. Which is particularly relevant, given that I am blind. Blind? Really? He kept his eyes closed during their entire ordeal, which suggested something strange, but to hear it said so casually, it was something of a surprise. Everyone seemed a little nervous at the prince's proclamation, but no one seemed to know how to react to it. There was one person, however, who didn't seem to be surprised in the least. The girl with the pink hair. I want to be Clover. You know, like a 4-leaf clover. Good luck, yeah? Looking almost bored, she held out her left arm. The face of her bracelet showed a number 4. They come around to Junpei. He held out his bracelet. Alright, my number's 5, so my toad name's gonna be nothing. Why have one? It's not like there's any point to it now. The dancer cut him off mid-sentence. I mean, we all know your name already. You're Junpei. Oh, right. They all nodded. Akane stepped forward nervously. Then you should all call me by my name too. Because, I mean, it doesn't seem fair to Junpei. You're thinking it's not cool for you to hide your name after you told us his? Akane fidgeted awkwardly. Junpei decided he had to do something. What's your bracelet number? It's 6. She hesitated for a moment, then held out her left arm. As she claimed, the bracelet's face showed a 6. Junpei looked at it for a moment and thought. Alright then, why don't we call you June? June? Yeah, you know, it's the 6th month of the year. So you're June. Junpei. Okay kneaded her hands and looked up at Junpei, uncertain. He smiled back at her, reassuringly. Are you good with that? She thought about it for a few more minutes, then seemed to come to a decision and gave Junpei a small nod. Their names decided, Junpei ran over them quickly in his head. Badass is Ace. Cool guy is Snake. Badass number 2. A scrawny badass is Santa. Weird chick with a complex is Clover. Poor guy is Junpei. Akane is 6, but Junpei has given her the name June. Big badass is 7. Dancer is 8. And that means 9 hasn't revealed his number. But there was still one person left. Number 9. He looks like he doesn't even want to be here. He was the man with the glasses and hair like a bird's nest. He hadn't said anything since they met on the stairs, and he didn't look like the sort of person who was inclined for conversation. Oh, so he's a Hidekimi. Okay. Actually, I don't even think that's the proper one for it. His skin was pale, and he was breathing very heavy, and he was soaked with nervous sweat. He's gonna kill somebody, isn't he? His behavior seemed very suspicious, or perhaps simply emotionally unstable. It was difficult to tell. Whatever the case, it seemed clear that he was only a fingertip's worth... Oh, he only had a fingertip's worth of grip on his sanity. The girl with pink hair, Clover, walked up to him slowly. She put her hands on her hip and eyed him suspiciously. What number are you? He didn't answer. His bloodshot eyes twitching from person to... He's gonna murder someone. His breath came in hot pants. Hey, I'm talking to you. The man licked his dry lips with a shaking tongue and spoke with a voice like an old paper. Isn't it obvious? There are 9 people here. And you know the numbers 1 through 8 are. I'm the only one left. So you're 9. Yeah. He extended a trembling arm. His bracelet did indeed say 9. Clover looked at him contemptuously. What is your code name? Code name? What do you want us to call you? We all made up names. You should too. I don't need one. Why not? Because I'm not going to stay here. With you. He took a shuddering breath and exhaled. Clover looked at him with something very... looked up with something very... Oh. You got some sort of plan? I do. Yeah? What's that? You sure you want to know? Yeah? Alright. Let me show you. I'm gonna do... Oh my god, he looks like a fucking creep. This! Ah! Oh, he got desperate. By the time he realized what he was doing, it was too late to stop him. The man's body moved like a snake's. In the blink of an eye, he had slid his... Oh, he had slid around behind her and wrapped his arms around her waist. Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? Silver, Santa, leapt forward towards Clover and the ninth man. He was halfway there when... Stay back! Suddenly, the man's hand drove into his pocket. He's gonna murder her! Son of a bitch! Came back out with a knife. A pocket knife. He held it to Clover's pale, quivering neck. If you get any closer, I'll cut her open. Santa skidded to a halt. He snarled at the scrawny man with the knife and gritted his teeth. Yes, that's right. The man's smile was neither friendly nor reassuring. Sweat poured down his neck, soaking the collar of his shirt. Clover, are you alright? The prince, Snake's voice, sounded oddly concerned. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, first playthrough. Sorry, I didn't notice that until now. Her voice shook, making her words even less convincing. What the hell are you trying to do? I told you. This is my plan. What are you gonna do with her, you sick son of a bitch? Don't worry. I'm not gonna do anything to her. If she just does what I tell her, I'll let her go. He started moving backwards, slowly, keeping his grip on Clover. Keeping their distance, Junpei and the others followed. Eventually, the man reached the wall. He gave a start as his back touched it, then glanced around quickly and spoke. Verify. Huh? The left. Look on your left. Do you see the device on the wall? Well, place your hand on the scanner panel, the round part. What if I don't? The man's nostrils flared and he looked like he was about to choke. Are you an idiot? What do you think? I could slit your throat right now. I'll kill you if I have to. All I need is your bracelet. Just do it. Do it now. He pressed the knife against Clover's neck, hard. Slowly, she stretched her left hand out towards the device. Her back was to it, and she had to feel around for a moment before she found the circular panel. It made a cold, electronic noise, and on the display above her hand, an asterisk appeared. So that's how it works, Junpei thought to himself. By placing one's palm on what the ninth man is called the scanner panel, the user's bracelet number could be entered into the device. Should the total of the numbers on your numbered bracelets and find the digital root of that number to be equal to that of the door will open. Junpei shifted his eyes to the door itself. The number on it was 5. The ninth man seemed to know a little bit more about the device's operations than he should. Yet, how did he know exactly what to do? Good, you're done. Next. His bloodshot eyes crept from one person to the other, until finally they stopped on the lion, Ace. You, right? You're the one with the number 1 bracelet, right? Yes, I am. So? Then you're next. Just verify your number like this little brat did. What are you doing? Do it. Don't you care what happens to her? Okay, okay, just calm down. Ace held up his hand, palms out. The knife man jerked his chin towards the device. Slowly, cautiously, Ace moved towards the device. After what seemed like an agonizing eternity, he reached it. Now, verify. Ace nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. The device beeped again, and a second asterisk appeared. Now the device had Clover and Ace's number. 4 and 1. 4 and 1 equaled 15. Or equal 15. 5. The same as the number written on the door. But it wouldn't just open yet. Only 2 to 3 people may pass through a numbered door. The door needed at least one more person. Who would that be? That'd be him. 14 equals 5. Get back! His voice shook. The knife held to Clover's throat made his words a command. Ace took 2, then 3 steps back. No, farther! More than that! Go all the way back. Slowly, Ace did what he was told. The nice man's lip curled into a cruel, twisted smile. It was then that Junpei understood his plan. Clover's 4 and Ace's 1. Added to the ninth man 9. Equals 5. In other words... Thank God you were all so cooperative. Now I can get the hell out of this nightmare. He pressed his own hand against the scanner panel. And a third asterisk appeared on the screen. He dropped his hand on the lever to the side of the device and pulled. The door opened with a heavy, metallic groan. He let go of Clover. Wait! Junpei leapt toward the nice man, but he wasn't fast enough. The man shoved Clover. Ah! And hopped through the door. Okay. Have a good one, guys. I'm going off ahead now. Well then, goodbye. He raised his hand and waved, a twisted smirk on his face. Then, he was gone. The door ground shut with a dull clang of metal on metal. Clover! Are you alright? Snake ran to Clover's side as she laid on the floor. Yeah, I'm fine. She climbed easily, or unsteadily, to her feet, and once there, leaned heavily on Snake's shoulder for support. Junpei ran to the door. The others followed him. Several pairs of hands grabbed hold of the handles and pulled. They grunted and strained, but... Shit! It won't budge. That was when Locust, the dancer, spoke. Her voice was quiet. Do you hear something? Like... what? Something like a beeping? Junpei pressed his ear against the cold metal of the door. The others did the same. Right, I can hear it too. What is it? They heard something else. It was the ninth man. Shit! Why isn't it stopping? God damn it! You lied! Lied? This wasn't supposed to happen! This was wrong! This is wrong! The voice shook with fear. Safe on the outside, they stepped back from the door and looked at one another. What is happening in there? Oh, open the door! Please! I'm begging you! Help me! Please, get me out of here! Get me out of here! Junpei grabbed hold of the device. He slammed his hand on the scanner panel. Nothing happened. Why didn't it register him? He looked at the display where the asterisk had shown up. It said, engaged. Oh my god, there's no time left! Listen, I was lied to! He lied to me! He put me in here! It was him! He killed me! It was him! Ooh. That didn't sound pretty. The explosions rocked the room. Instinctively, they ducked and stood up slowly to realize there was no danger. No one spoke. Silence filled the room. In that silence, the electronic tone that echoed across the room sounded as loud as a gunshot. All eyes turned towards it. The room... It had come from the device mounted next to the door. The display changed from engaged to vacant. Let's see if we can open it. 7. The mountain swallowed hard. Junpei nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. The red asterisk appeared on the LCD panel. The device had registered Junpei's bracelet number 5. His was not enough, however. At least 2 more people were needed. Junpei asked, "Which pair?" Oh, I get to choose? Santa's badass. Apparently that is an A. Alright. Santa and, June, do you think you can give me a hand here? The pun was a little too on the nose, but the mood was grim. Well, Santa and June lifted their left hands silently. He verified, and she followed suit. All that equals 5. They fulfilled the conditions. If they were to pull the lever on the side. Are you guys ready? I'm gonna open it. Junpei grabbed the lever and looked back over his shoulder. They stiffened and nodded. Junpei nodded back and set his mouth in a grim line. Then he slowly lowered the lever. There was a metallic groan and the door slid open. A breath of air drifted out, carrying with a stench that nearly made them gag. Junpei grimaced and put his hand over his mouth. My God! Good God! Lotus and Ace shuddered. 7 grunted. Whoa, that's pretty bad. Even Santa's voice shook. He blew up? It appeared that Santa was right. The hallway on the other side of the door was splattered in chunks of torn flesh and dark, red blood. Ugh. Ah! The shriek echoed across the room. I can't shriek. It had come from June. Then, her strength left her and she dropped. As Junpei turned to catch her, the door groaned shut. She crumpled to the floor. June, you okay? Junpei dropped to his knees and put her arm around her shoulders. It was then he noticed. Her whole body was feverish. She was radiating intense heat. What the hell? Where'd this fever come from? June didn't answer. Her face looked wax, and her whole body began to shake. Alright, let's just rest for a minute, okay? You think you can walk? She nodded weakly. Junpei lifted June to her feet. Oh my god, that is hard to say. And guided her to a nearby chair. Here we go. As gently as he could, he sat her down on it. How are you feeling? Are you alright? She nodded, and as she did, a single huge tear rolled down her side of her face. Why did this happen? Her voice cracked, broken by misery and grief, and choked by sobs. Why did this happen? Junpei spun around. Did I even know what the fuck is going on here? Who's Zero? What the hell is this nonary game? Come on. Anyone. Anything. What the hell is going on? What are we doing here? No one spoke. Ace, Snake, Santa, Clover, Seven, and Lotus. They simply stood there. 7 pairs of downcast eyes, 7 grim lines for mouths. Jun's body shook with silent sobs. They slowed, and as the minutes ticked by, they eventually stopped. Then, suddenly, in the cold, heavy silence that enveloped like a thick fog, the bell began to ring. The clock in the day literally wasted an hour. 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And then, on the 10th ring, it stopped. The sound of the bell faded away into silence. It's 10 o'clock then. What Ace said what each other had been thinking. It means it's been an hour since Zero's little announcement. Seven's deep voice echoed across the room. Fuck! I've had enough of this crap. Santa leaped to his feet, his fist clenched. How long are we gonna pussyfoot around like this? We've got only 8 hours until the time limit Zero was going on about is up. Let's get it going already. Go! Go! Santa's outburst fell on deaf ears. No one seemed to agree with him. They stared back at him, their eyes blank and their faces tired. Finally, Lotus spoke. No, I refuse. I'm not going to end up like him. Him? You mean the 9th man? Of course. Who else? In his mind's eye, Junpei saw the corpse again. Dark reddish pool of blood. The scattered pieces of flesh. Organs strewn across the floor like blossoming of grotesque flowers. The explosion that had torn through his body had been powerful. The nice man's neck had been twisted in an odd angle. Junpei suspected the detonation had thrown him against the wall. Half his face was crushed and the other half was covered in blood. Most of his abdomen had been emptied, either by the explosion or by gravity. He had landed on his back. His stark white ribs jutted up from his chest, and his legs like some sort of macabre crab. Oh, like the legs of some sort of thing, yeah. Junpei felt something flip in his stomach. I think he just screwed up. Eyebrows went up and Santa continued. He probably sets off some sort of trap, and then that killed him. I'm not going to screw up like that. I'm getting the hell out of here. Whatever Snake was laughing at, Santa did not find particularly humorous. What's so goddamn funny? Oh, my apologies, you were just so very confident. I couldn't help myself. What the fuck? I think you're mistaken the situation. Huh? The last man's death had nothing to do with a trap, or at least not the sort of trap you were thinking of. Then he broke one of Zero's rules. That's why he died. Quite simple if you think about it. You still don't? Alright. How about you take a moment and think back to what Zero said? Specifically, what he said about the number of people. He said only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door, right? After that, you've forgotten the relevant part. What did Zero say? Santa furrowed his brow and thought. Junpei thought back. Zero said. Oh, this one. Everyone who verified had to go. All those who enter must leave, and all those who enter must contribute, right? I think it was something like that. Whatever it was, it means that groups of less than 3 or more than 5 can't go through. That is correct. A gold star for you, Junpei. Snake inclined his inclined his head towards Junpei. The ninth man, however, broke that rule. He tried to pass through a numbered door by himself. And that is why he was executed. That Zero's watching us from somewhere, making sure we don't break any of the rules. Oh, I'm not so sure of that. Why not? Because the execution system is entirely automatic. Didn't you notice? There was no need for him to monitor us. What do you mean? Santa looked at Seven what could only be described as pity inside. Very well. I see it must be me who tells you. I've waited long enough, I suppose. I'd hoped Zero might spare me the trouble, but that seems to be increasingly unlikely. He couldn't see them, of course. Perhaps Snake sensed confused eyes upon him. When they spoke, he gave words to everyone else's thoughts. Do you know something? Well, I know a great deal of many things, but yes. What is it that you know? Here. Snake removed a card from his pocket of his jacket. What he flourished and presented to H, what he flourished, with a flourish, he presented it to Ace, who took a close look at it and spoke. Come on now, what's the point of giving me this? Give me that. Sent to snatch the card from Ace, but his expression was of disgust quickly turned into one of confusion. Huh? What the hell is this? Seven tugged it out of Snake's hands. I see. The card went from Seven to Locust, and from Locust to June, and finally to Junpei. He looked at it and understood. Ah! Braille. This is Braille. Braille. The written language of the blind. The card was covered in small, embossed bumps and nubs and stuffs. Junpei could recognize it, but he sure as hell couldn't read it. Sorry guys, I can't read this. Junpei handed the card back to Snake, who nodded at him with a small smirk. Okay, that was fun. So what's so important about this card? I found it in my pocket. I can only assume it's a message from Zero. From Zero? A message? What does it say? Suddenly, everyone was crowding around Snake, desperate to hear what the message said. Santa especially looked as if he were about to grab hold of Snake and shake answers out of him. Snake raised his hand. Calm down now. No need to panic. You don't need to force me. I'll read it. Junpei swallowed hard and waited for him to start. He was not the only one. Presently, Snake began to read, his voice calm. His finger glided over the tiny bumps as he spoke. Bracelet number 2. Since you are not blessed with sight, I shall bless you, and only you, with information. Oh, did he kill number 9? I shall tell you the function of the red, of the dead, and of the bracelet. The red is the recognition device. It will verify your number. Oh, I think I know what dead stands for. Besides every numbered door, you will find a red. Dead is the activation device, which is exactly what I fucking thought it was. It does exactly what it says. Once you have passed through the numbered door, you must use the dead in order to stop the detonator in your bracelet. But perhaps you are wondering, what does this detonator detonate? I'm afraid this may be something of a surprise. I have placed a small bomb inside each of you. And the people whom you're about to meet. You swallowed it while you were unconscious. I have no doubt by the time you read this note, the bomb will have passed into your stomach and found its way into your small intestine. In other words, you'll be unable to regurgitate it. I suggest you do not try. As mentioned before, the bracelet on your left hand contains a detonator. Think of it as a remote fuse or a timer for your bomb in your body. There's only one condition that will cause it to detonate. The condition is that you enter a numbered door. Once you have done so, the timer will activate no matter who you may be. You will have 81 seconds. 9. If, after that time, the detonator has not been deactivated, it will send a signal to the bomb in your body, instructing it to explode. In order to deactivate the detonator, every person who's verified the number at the red must also verify the number at the dead. Once all numbers have been verified by the dead, you only need to pull the lever on the side and the countdown will cease. Anyone who does not verify the number at the red will find themselves unable to verify the number at the dead. That is to say, should you pass through a numbered door without first verifying your number at the red, in 81 seconds, you'll be kinda dead. You must also keep in mind that the numbered doors will close automatically after 9 seconds have passed. So as long as the door is open, the dead will not function. You'll do well to remember this. Oh, people could really fuck you over in this. Lastly, let us discuss how to remove bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1, you escape from the ship, which is pretty damn obvious. 2, your heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or detects the wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically. There's no other way to move your bracelet, so basically you either have to get out alive or die. If you attempt to force it off or disable the detonator, the bomb within you will immediately explode. That is all the information which I can impart to you. Good thing Junpei didn't try. How you choose to use it is for you to decide. Yeah, you probably killed 9. If used wisely, you can eliminate those who might be a danger for you, for a time. You would be able to control your fate. I wish the best of luck. Okay, so Snake probably saw that 9 was going to do something to Clover, because I think Clover and Snake are together. And he predicted it. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. If so, Snake's definitely a vigilante. Snake finished reading and carefully returned it to the card to his pocket. The message had been lengthy, but its meaning was clear. Only those who verify their numbers at the red could pass through the numbered doors. Teams cannot increase or decrease their number. The Reds, the Deads, and the Bracelets enforced these rules. They were the judge, the jury, and the executioner. In defiance of Zero's suggestion, both Santa and Seven put their fingers down their throats and began to gag. The rest stiffened. Some touched the stomachs, some simply stared at their bracelets. Junpei gingerly touched his stomach. There was a bomb inside his body. The thought made him queasy. His stomach felt oddly hollow, and his legs were weak. Why had Zero disguised? Because he's old and fucking rich. Junpei looked over at the others. Alright, I'm going to ask one more time. Do any of you know anything about Zero? They were all silent, each person wanted to hear what the other would say. Finally, Santa spoke. Actually, I saw him. I saw Zero when I got grabbed. I didn't see his face, though. That son of a bitch was wearing some kind of gas mask. What the hell? Come on, guys, give me something. You know, like, surprise or something? Instead, it was Santa who looked surprised. There was a moment of silence and everyone spoke at once. Yeah, I saw him too. Me too. He was wearing a gas mask. As stories were sorted out, the truth became clear. All their stories were the same. They had been abducted at home, at midnight. The person claiming to be Zero had worn a mask. At midnight? Why the fuck would you do midnight? I'd do like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That'd be cooler. The person claiming to be Zero wore a mask. There had been white smoke, and each person had passed out. When they awoke, they found themselves on D-deck in a room with 3 level bunk beds. Only 7 stories seemed to lack the details of the others. Oh, me? Yeah, well, I was just like the rest of yous. That was all he had to say. Oh, something different happened with you. I don't like you now either. I kind of like Snake now, though. Snake's kind of cool. It occurred to Junpei at the time that it sounded sometimes strange, but didn't press the issue. He hadn't done so because there was something that struck him as even stranger. There's the mystery of relationship between Snake and Clover. For some reason, they had been abducted from the same room and woken up in the same room. Junpei looked at them, thoughtfully. So what's the deal with the two of you, anyways? It was Clover that answered. Clover, clearly, she had felt she had nothing to hide. We're siblings. Siblings? Yes. Snake is my older brother, obviously, which means I'm his little sister. Is that really so hard to understand? Junpei was taken aback. The others seemed just as surprised. She is correct, of course. He laid his hand on Clover's shoulder. Are you surprised? Well, yeah, but... why? There are other people here with connections to each other. Those two, for instance. Snake pointed at Junpei and June. Oh, you mean between Junpei and me? Ah, yes. You did say you were childhood friends, didn't you? We went to school together? Oh, you went to school together? Yeah. June glanced at Junpei, uncomfortable with the sudden attention. Junpei felt somewhat nervous as well, and tried to scratch his head as casually as possible. Hey, you think maybe we could figure out who Zero is this way? Yeah, you're kinda right. You connect dots between victims, and that leads you to a perp. Textbook. Junpei, June, does any of this ring a bell? Ring a bell? Ring a bell? They looked at each other. And like it was staged. They both tilted their necks at the same time. Well, perhaps you went to school with the son of a millionaire. Millionaire? Son? Well, someone bought this boat and set up all of this. Whoever Zero is, they must be incredibly rich. It's a rich old man with too much time on his fucking hands. Well, we can't be sure of that. It's probably that guy. To me, it seems as though it's been work of an organization and not an individual. Zero is most simply the representative of a larger group. What sort of organization? Could be a number of things, an army, perhaps, or a research group. Perhaps this is all some sort of psychological experiment. If it is, then it's a pretty fucked up experiment. I mean, come on, guy. A guy's dead. The word dead hung heavy in the air. Heavy and ominous. The room went quiet again. I don't know what the hell this Zero asshole is, but I know for sure he's gotta be pretty fucked up in the head to do all this, yeah. That's exactly what he said. If this is all one guy, then he has some serious issues. He's probably old as fucking dirt and rich as hell and has way too much goddamn time on his hands. So it makes sure he's probably a widow. Maybe it's a she. No, it's a he. No, actually it might be a she. Even with the scepter of death hanging over them, their discussion continued for some time. In the end, however, they learned absolutely nothing. And half an hour passed. 1.5 hours of their time was gonna go, and all they had to show for it was impatience. Man, look, we've only got 7.5 hours, okay? You really sure you want to just sit around? No one was willing to argue this time. Very well then. There's only one way for us to proceed. Sure not gonna be fun running around, you know, you gotta jump Zero. I gotta jump when Zero says. Well, it's stupid to just sit around here and do nothing. Thanks to Snake's card, we at least have some idea how it all works. Correct, and so long as we follow the rules, we should... we'll most likely be alright. I don't like how he changed that. But what? Who's going to go in which door? Junpei looked toward the numbered doors. Oh yeah, that's right. We can't have any more than 5 people in one door. All 8 of us can't go in the same door. It would seem we'd have to split up. Wait. Lotus looked terrified. I'm telling you now, there's no way in hell I'm going through door number 5. Come on, don't be so selfish. Call me whatever the hell you want. I'm not going in there. If you're going to have to walk through all that blood, I'd rather stay here. Hey, we're doing so well. He shook his head sadly. Sorry, but I ain't going in there either. Someone else can go through door 5. Oh, Santa, not you too. Hey man, I just bought these shoes. You're a fucking prick. If you think I'm gonna go get some creepy dude's blood all over them, you got another think coming. That was the last straw. What the hell, man? Weren't you the one who kept saying we should get going? Yeah? So? Doesn't mean I wanted to go through door 5. God. There was an awkward silence. Finally, Seven spoke. Fine. I'll go into door 5. I can't go there alone, though. Anyone else willing to come with me? There's another long silence. This time, Snake was the one to break it. I'll go. What? Don't worry, you'll be fine. We may part now, but I'm certain we'll meet again later. How do you know that? Because I do. That's not an answer. If you're going, I'm going too. I'm going through door 5. What am I going to do with you? There's nothing you have to do. Ace stepped forward. If I join you, the problem's solved, correct? 7 is 7, and Snake is 2. And if you add Clover's 4 and my 1, the digital root will be 5. Oh, it works perfectly! The 4 of us can go to door 5. Wait, what about the other 4? What's their digital root gonna be? 4? Junpei did a quick mental calculation. Lotus, Santa, June, and Junpei read. Let's see, Lotus is 8. Santa is 3, so 11. June is 6, 17. 22. So yeah, 5. Or 4. The bracelet numbers were 8, 3, 6, and 5. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's not that button. I don't know why. He repeated what he had determined. It's 4. Add up our 4 bracelets and the digital root is 4. Then we can go into door 4. Yeah, huh. That worked out well. Junpei ran over the team's assignments in his head one more time. 4 people go into door 5. 7, Snake, Clover, and Ace. 4 people go into door 4. Lotus, Snake, June, and Junpei. I actually kind of want to go through door 5. He never wanted to see that thing again, but something in him said it would be unwise not to examine the corpse even a little closer. Of course, if he went through door 5, he couldn't be going with Lotus and Santa. True, it would be possible for him to bring June with him through door 5, but that would mean she would have to see the horrific carnage that waited him there. Junpei didn't want that. Junpei was torn. Should he stay silent, or go through door 4? Or should he stop them all and insist on door 5? As he turned his options over and over in his mind, Ace spoke up. Alright then. It seems we've reached a conclusion. Shall we go? We had to walk towards door 5. Clover and Snake followed with 7 a short distance behind. Junpei. Bitch! I want 5! I wonder what save is. Oh. That works. No. How long have I been streaming, actually? Holy shit, 2 hours? Holy shit, it's been that long? Does that really say 2 hours? Holy crap. Okay, well. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. Holy crap. I'm gonna eat and go to bed. I didn't realize it was that long. That was a very long 2 hours. I'm definitely gonna keep doing this though, but I'm gonna keep switching out with dot hack. Thanks to all that watched and commented. I'm sorry if I got delayed on some of your comments. I kind of was reading a lot. Holy crap. Yeah, later. Jeez.